at the final month of 2020. I'm pretty stoked to be here. It's been quite an interesting 2020, a very reflective year. We've been tested a lot when it comes to patience, perspectives, changing the people in our lives that we don't need in there anymore, or who might be pulling our energy in ways that aren't conducive to our future and our desires. I haven't really been focusing on love. It's really been about the personal self. At the end of 2019, I talked a lot about how 2020 was going to be a year of change. Oh boy, was it. And that's really what the whole year just focused on, was the self and how you could get yourself in a better position. As we move forward into 2021, I will be looking at love more. I am going to be looking at love today as well, but I also want to just do a final kind of reflection of really where we've come through the 2020 regarding, your passions, your calling, where you're going, what you can do to be more aware of the wisdom in those lessons that you learned and how you can apply them to 2020. I want to see what piece of advice there is for when you're discouraged, rather than going backwards and regressing towards how 2020 or 2019 was. What are you going to use from all of that towards 2021 to be more constructive, to get more of what you want, to get more of where you're closer to where you're going, where you want to go. And we're going to see what type of what you're going to be pursuing, okay, in 2021. As far as love, I am going to look at that as well. We're going to see kind of what for those of you finding and keeping love, that's really what we're looking at, right? I want to see what that love's going to look like. I want to take a look at what, will the attraction be instant? Will the person be like? And just some basic questions on what to expect, okay? So that's what we're going to focus on in this particular reading as we get into 2021. I'm very excited. We have had a very interesting couple retrogrades. The first one in 2020 was rough. That one was really, really tough for a lot of people, including myself. This one that we've had in the latter part of the year, in November, that one was a very helpful retrograde. I hope a lot of you felt that. It brought a lot of those reflection points forward and helped bring in some positive motivational energy from the heart, using those emotions a little bit, and also with that Scorpio energy, and with the Libra energy, we've got balance coming together that we can bring into 2021, okay? So let's take a look and see how things are looking for you, and if you have any questions, let me know. All right, guys, I have a couple sales going on, okay? My rates are still 50% off through the end of the year. If you are interested in a Reiki session, they're all on sale right now. Normally they are $40, and that's for half an hour or to clear whatever chakras are blocked, but I'm doing them for $25, okay? The assessment is free. It's down below. We can see what at least is blocked, so you have an idea. Just do it. It's free. You might as well. In addition to that, if you're looking to just kind of get a reset, if you're not feeling 100% just solid on where you're at, I do have a soul manifestation journal. I developed this myself when I was in that exact position. I did this so that it was a hands-on, interactive kind of guide to get the mind going, to get that soul connected, to get thoughts and ideas kind of flowing, and just to help you get back in that direction that you feel connected and solid and secure and confident with where you're going. Those are on sale. They're $15. That's it. They're normally $30, but I just want to be able to help as many people as possible. It allows me to keep printing them, so it's really not a lot of profit for me, but it's something huge for you, and I just want to be able to help and heal. That information's down below. You can go to Heal to Manifest. That's heal, the number 2, manifest.com, and get all that information. You can schedule and book appointments, get your assessment. Everything's there, or down in the description box below. Okay, guys? So enough said. Let's take a look at how your life and love is going, all right? All right, Capricorns, let's take a look and how things are going for you in December 2020. All right, and we're going to start with kind of what adventures or what, areas of your life are calling for your, attention here. All right, let's take a look. So you got the 7 of Cups and the World card. So I feel like you have this opportunity to address several things going on in your life, several different areas that have meaning to you. You're in a better position, it seems like, to make some successful investments or put your time into it. You're seeing, kind of at a distance as far as your plans go. You're much more connected and grounded and level-headed than you were previously in the year, even in the recent future. It's not in the recent future, in the recent past, because there's been a lot of unknowns for Capricorns, and it's been quite the struggle, a lot of frustration, but it suddenly all kind of came around towards the end of the year here. In this retrograde, I believe for Capricorns was a more helpful one, especially if you were kind of gearing more towards being balanced as opposed to being imbalanced. So I think that this is kind of just having choices, having opportunities, and getting things kind of, back into balance, clarified by, that is kind of the influencing factor there, was the imbalance. I see that this could have to do with avoiding delays and setbacks in the future by kind of staying a step ahead of the game. I think for Capricorns, one of the biggest frustrations is not being able to be in control 100% of the time. It's kind of one of the missions of a Capricorn, is being able to let that go and let things flow, yet being on top of what you can do to make it work better and to be more functional. So that can be a bit of a challenge there. So that's, I feel like it's, in a nutshell, that's talking about, in general with your life, you're able to just have a little bit more intuitive knowing about how to keep that balance going. I think 2020 taught you quite a bit about that. All right, now what is getting ready to change? What are you getting ready to change? Queen of Cups in reverse. So if you've been feeling like you haven't had an emotional balance in this department when it comes to love or relationships, I feel like this is getting ready to shift, and you're kind of, I think you've felt like you've kind of been in the runners-up game in this love department. Like, it just hasn't quite happened yet for you. You keep getting a little taste of it, and this is what I want. You're real clear with what you want, but it just hasn't yet happened the way that you feel it will, right? When it happens, if that makes sense. That's getting ready to shift. So you obviously have some kind of something taking place here that's going to bring you happiness and take you away from that almost bitterness, okay, or envy that you might feel watching other people, kind of basting in this lovely energy. There's a karmic payoff that's going to, if it's felt uncomfortable, frustrating, almost annoying, just kind of confusing, that's all that bitterness, that confusion, it might even be unbearable for some of you. You just want that connection with somebody. It's just frustrating. It's hard to take it and hard to deal with that. That's getting ready to shift, okay? That's what's getting ready to change. And what are you learning from this? What was the point of that? Well, the point of it was to allow for clarity to come when it was meant to come. The point of it was to have patience, allowing for the right relationship to take place. What you don't want is to have a loveless relationship, and it was all about the right timing with everything, okay? So I feel like you are learning that the patience allows you to see things so much more clearly and actually get the best of what's available, okay? The best route to take is what Spirit's trying to guide you to, but you have to have enough patience to wait for the right thing to come in, and enough awareness and faith to not mess it up before it gets here, eh? Even with our own emotions. But that's getting ready to, you're learning, and you've been learning how to really find counsel within that concept, within yourself or whoever you need to, interact with, so you don't jump the gun, so you don't do things in an old way that didn't work before. You're trying to really reinvent something better. Okay, yeah. Now, how can you align even more to get what you're wanting? So it looks like, relationships are kind of that focus for this month. We've got Justice here. So justice can mean a couple different things. I mean, it can indicate just having that faith and knowing that what's meant to happen will happen. But it can also be an indication of having faith and putting everything else to rest. Just letting everything else go. Letting the worry, letting the anxiety, letting the how's it going to work out, the control, the no, all of that, just putting it to rest. And signing in that higher path of what will be, it will be just the way it's meant to be, and it will come when it's in balance. And that's the mentality that you need to have, okay, going into this next year. What type of higher learning or self-development should you be pursuing? It's funny. So this is about you, and this is about reading yourself to where you know how to balance your health and your mental space and all of that, so that you're not overdoing something, okay? So basically being a step ahead of things, making sure you're getting enough rest, making sure you're eating right, you're not neglecting yourself while you're trying to do all of these things, okay? So you're learning how to put everything into a nice, organized kind of routine and consistent one, so that you can really practice the solidity that you've created this year. You're applying that next year and really just watching it flow and watching it work, okay? Where can you look if you're lacking motivation, okay? How can you get back kind of on the wagon, and things like that, if you get to a point where you're just unsettled with the situation? King of Pentacles. This is one, having faith that, you are doing everything that you're supposed to do. You're checking off those boxes. You're staying a step ahead of the game. You know the pros and cons. So weighing that stuff out, but also just being connected and having those honest intentions and those wise about your investments, and having wise thought processes that stay optimistic, that stay positive as far as you're manifesting, and you're continuing that flow and keeping that patience, and knowing if something didn't work out, or you're still waiting, or whatever it is, you're just still going to continue on your path of letting divine timing take its its course. Okay. All right. Now, as far as love goes, finding and keeping love, what is this going to look like here? So, Knight of Cups in the reverse. So you're coming to trust somebody, and you're also trying to look through the reality of the situation, so that you're not taking a bad risk. You don't want to you don't want to go off and start a relationship just to escape your current reality. You have your heart set, it seems like, on a particular path, and so a particular person, possibly. I feel like one of you kind of knows how the other one feels. One of you is very solid about your feelings. The other one is still trying to figure out kind of where they stand with things. And I feel like that's a little bit frustrating, because there is a nice connection here, but it's testing that patience. Okay. This person could be a Sag, but there's somebody that definitely keeps you on your toes. You might have to travel a little bit to see them. There might be just a very passionate and new or fun kind of energy between the two of you. But I do see that there is a nice connection. It's just that the two of you are kind of not 100% on the same wavelength as far as where this relationship is headed. Now, indeed, where that's going, I want to see kind of, we got the Three of Pentacles, the Empress, the Four of Cups, and the Five of Cups in reverse. So I see that there's going to be a focus on the lack of nurturing, the lack of investment that's been put into this, because the challenge looks like there's been a lack of that. But somebody's been thinking about it quite a bit. I think this is the other side, or whichever side's been kind of lacking, and wants to make a change. They want to address this imbalance, or this depression that they have about not pursuing what they know is something big. They know it's a big connection. They know it's important, and they feel it. But they're getting ready. They're still kind of in those baby steps of trying to establish and get that connection going, okay? What will help? Just don't fight the grain. Just don't be, I don't even want to, you feeling like you have to stand your ground or speak your truth. Just let them finalize what they're doing and come to you. That way you're not just constantly putting yourself out there and starting to feel like desperate or something stupid, okay? And if you haven't met by December, I don't think it's going to take very long. I think that you are going to be very happy with where you're at and where you're going. If not already, then especially by the first part of the year. So keep me posted, you guys. If you want to look at your personal situation, feel free to reach out and let me know. Otherwise, it's a general reading, so take what fits and leave the rest. And I hope you have a fantastic month and Happy New Year.